Ik moet...
Hello friends from Kleurnet. Today I have with me a percussionist, Mr. Leslie Lopez, a bassist also, and well, he is not just a teacher, he is a professor, because for what I know he's been teaching also some teachers, so he goes one step higher. Hello Leslie.
Hello.
Leslie Lopez Nieves es tu nombre,
Sí,
¿no?
yes.
Gracias por estar aquí y cuéntame, ¿cuántos años llevas tú en Amsterdam?
Bueno, ahora llevo aquí 18 años.
¿Y siempre trabajando como percusionista?
No, bajista.
Bajista.
Percusión es mi segundo instrumento, pero soy más bajista y arreglista, compositor.
Ah, qué bien. Y veo que aquí estás tapado con CDs. ¿En cuántos CDs has trabajado?
Bueno, yo he participado aquí, creo que como en Holanda, desde que llego aquí, o en Europa en general, como 60, 70 diferentes proyectos de CD, con diferentes tipos de grupos, desde salsa hasta música antillana, de jazz, de rhythm and blues, de música brasileña, de funk, de todo tipo de música, pero más que nada música latina.
¿Y tú naciste en
Puerto Rico.
O sea que llevas el ritmo un poco en la sangre, digamos, ¿no?
En la sangre, sí.
Y en los dedos.
En los
y en
dedos.
las manos.
Y en la tradición, ¿no? Porque más que nada no solamente no sé si es importante haber nacido allá, aunque eso tiene una ventaja, pero también es como uno sigue la tradición, ¿no? Cómo se continúa la tradición que uno ha recibido. Porque otra gente, aquí en Europa, por ejemplo, existen muchos individuos que se han dedicado tanto a la música que uno no sabe de dónde vienen cuando lo oye tocando.
Holandeses.
Holandeses, alemanes, europeos en general.
Se dedican tan de lleno que ya tocan casi mejor que uno. ¿Cómo se atreven?
No es que no es mejor, porque mejor nunca va a ser. O sea, después de un nivel no hay mejor ni peor, solamente diferentes.
Nos encontramos todos ahí.
Entonces, pues hay gente que han seguido nuestra tradición tan seriamente y tan dedicadamente que llegan a un nivel muy alto. Pero sí, nuestros grandes maestros, le llaman los grandes maestros por alguna razón, porque han seguido todas las direcciones educativas y de sabor y todo, y han llegado a un nivel mucho más alto que los demás.
Oye, pero no íbamos a hacer este programa en inglés, ¿no?
Maybe it's a good idea, yes.
Yeah, should we?
We should do it in
Okay.
English, yeah.
So sorry for the ones that only speak English, but we're going to go on in English.
Okay.
So, where did you study?
Well, I was in New York, and I studied there for 2 years in university, and I was studying music. But then I came here for 1 month, supposedly for 1 month.
Apparently, you'd like it here.
And I liked it, and I met a girl, and the rest of the story is obvious,
And now you have 18 years.
I've been 18 years now here. Yeah.
So you're not 25 anymore.
No, I'm a bit older than that. Actually, today is my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday
Thank
then.
you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
So,
I mean, I'm getting to the point in my age that I stop. I don't know, like my mother said, after a certain age, you start counting down instead of up.
So, last year was your last one, or is this one?
I'm gonna think about that. I mean, I think actually 10 years ago was my last one, but I can't stop. It doesn't help.
So today we are having a birthday party later. In any case, this is going to come out after tomorrow or tomorrow.
Okay, great. So today's the 9th
You're
of March.
going to be late to celebrate Leslie's birthday.
Yeah,
Don't forget to call him anyway.
Yeah.
And tell me, what are you doing now, these days?
Well, at this point, I'm participating in this tour that we're doing around in Holland with a very great percussion player from Cuba. His name is Armando Peraza. He's living in California. He's really a master. He was he's played with Carlos Santana, Santana for a long time, and he played with all the greatest in Latin music, and he's really been a master. He has been an inspiration to many people. And he's 80-something years old, so he's an older guy, but he still has a lot of energy, and he's talking about boxing all the time because he used to be a boxer, and he's still teaching boxing, and
Oh, yeah?
and he's 80-something years old, but I
Is he
wouldn't
in
fool around.
Amsterdam?
No, he's in Rotterdam now. Yes. Yeah.
Do you think you could take him over once?
I would try. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
And then because he's a great guy and he's a great percussion player, and we're playing with the Cuba City Big Band. Actually,
Cuba is a great country.
Yeah, Cuba. Yeah, this one is a Cuba City. It's a Cuban bebop city big band. Is a big band from Lucas Pamerbike. And we're playing around Amsterdam this weekend.
Where?
I think I have all these letters, and I always look at the same day. Oh yeah, we have to play there. But well, it will be on the newspaper. This is a Cuba City Big Band featuring Armando Peraza. This is one of the CDs from this band.
Well, apparently Cuban people is giving us a lot of lessons, not in question of political proudness, because they've been really facing a lot of troubles, and they keep their face and their forehead very high and a big smile, and I think they're really been giving us a very good lesson to the rest of the world.
Yeah, they have been giving us many lessons. I mean, for many years the music of Cuba has inspired the rest of Latin America. I mean, salsa music is based on Cuban music. As an accent, of course, you know, with everybody that interprets salsa music, either Colombian, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, or whatever, they have their own accent, but it's Cuban. It's coming from Cuba.
Well, it's a national dance almost in Cuba.
No, in Cuba now, I mean, the thing is like this, we play in salsa and it's great stuff, but now what they play in Cuba is not salsa, it's timba, it's something else. It's much further. I mean, they're really going up very quick. I mean, that's their music, you know.
Compared to them, we are always behind in the fashion.
Yeah, in some things, yeah.
Like in clothes fashion with Italy, they are always ahead.
Yeah, I guess something like that. Yeah, because it's created there. I mean, it's like it's like jazz music or soul music. Well, the main interpreters are in the States. But there are, of course, exceptions everywhere else. You know.
About the States, do you think? At least when I was quite young, I remember the dream of all my friends, if they was going to leave the country, was to go to America. Do you think that has been changing, and they now have Europe in their mind, or they still dreaming about go to America?
Well, I think that has to do with where you're living. Because, for example, in Puerto Rico, well, the closest is America. I mean, it's very easy, and we have American passports, so it's very easy to go there. We don't even need to show a passport.
Yeah, well, you are apparently one more state, or
something like that.
A colony of America.
Well, it wouldn't a colony. You know that fact. Yeah, that fact. You know, for me, when I hear colony, it sounds like slavery and people there, you know, sleeping in the barracones.
Don't you think is that somehow that kind of a slavery still happens? But in a higher level, I mean.
Yeah, of course it does happen, but at least people get paid and they have the right to grow if they can.
Well, that's the point. I mean, we live here in one of the first countries, but people from those third or fourth or fifth countries, aren't they slaves somehow?
I guess so. I mean. Well, you know, slave is.
I can only talk about. The case of Chile, because it's the one I know close. But let's say that in Chile people is having 2-3 jobs and running to pay their credits, because they have credits that goes for 5 years ahead. And I mean, okay, it's not slavery in terms that they are having a chain around their neck, but they do have their chain in terms of credit, so they do have to run.
Well, you know, what I believe is that there has to be some economical strategies played by the first world countries, in which they screw the third world countries all the money out of them, and that's the price we pay on the third world countries are paying, you know, or not the third world countries, because we're not third world countries, you know, we're not.
You know, that's why I was going to ask you.
No, we're not. No, I don't identify.
Who do you identify? With the Latin?
I identify with Latin America.
Or with musicians, or with also, Latin America?
Latin America. I'm a Latino. I mean, before I was a Puerto Rican. Then I went to New York. And then, I was a Puerto Rican, not Chicano, but that's more the Mexican people in California.
No, I think they call Chicano to every kind of Latin American. I never been living in America, so.
No, but in America, usually Chicano refers to people from Texas and people that are not Texas, but Mexican people that were born and raised in the States, like usually around the states, the states that got ripped out of Mexico, you know, like Texas and Florida and Nevada, all this.
Because I believe, or I hear that they have names for everybody, so every kind of Latin American has a name.
Our name is Pic. We have Spix. Spix. There's a Puerto Rican, it's called Spic. That's like saying a nigger or a honky or something like that.
Because is it close to pig also?
I don't know exactly, you know, it's just a name that you were denominated by.
It's not a friendly name, apparently.
No, it's not a very friendly name. No. It's a
so you
racistic.
like the name, and you decide to come to a country where they are not so racist as Holland. Or how did you arrive here?
Actually, I came here to play for 1 month on a tour. Yeah, and no, but I like the country very much here. You know, the people are very nice and very open-minded.
Why? Is it open-minded?
Very open-mindid. Yeah, and you know, this is what
how do you explain that open-minded?
Well, how I explain the open-minded is by, for example, Europe is a country or is a nation or is a whatever continent that was grown up by competition. Everybody was competing, and that's how it's grown. In competition, well, you have to keep an open mind if you want to beat the other one, I guess, you know. So here, what I learned is it's a very competitive society, and if you can survive, you can survive very well. And if you cannot compete, they just blow you away. And that's what happens everywhere in the world. Here, it's just very clear how it is, you know, because the majority of the people are like that. They're very competitive. And
but I used to say that they are more compassive, and I used to say
compassionate here.
Yes, I mean that's excuse me, that is in the Weapon van Amsterdam. Heroism, perseverance, and compassion, because that's the meaning of barmhartig. And that's what I believe, that word has been making a big influence in the character of Amsterdam, at least.
Compassion, yeah, I guess so.
And the people, a little bit American thinking style, they used to say that we're very tolerant, and I used to correct them. I say, well, compassive sounds a lot better with the character of the city.
Yeah, I guess it's a combination of both. Some people are very tolerant.
And tell me, something you didn't like in America.
What I didn't like in America is that people judge you without knowing you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So that's what they call prejudice.
Yeah, prejudice.
A judgment beforehand.
Yes.
And
here in Europe, at least, you know, the feeling I get, they give you a chance to find out who you are. But that depends also on the level of the persons you're dealing with. Because,
but I think that also has to do, I know some people that they know how to sell themselves very good, and okay, I can see that because they have very good places. But for instance, other people, I consider myself in between those. I don't like to talk about my titles, about my capabilities and things like that. And then the people also start to make prejudice on you. So I suppose we have to be selling ourselves to get a good position in this society.
Well, the thing is, you know, for example, what I understand from the Dutch mentality is that they don't like to brag about things, like to say, oh yeah, well, I have this and I have that, but they like to show it. They don't say it, they just do it, you know.
They don't say I have a Rolex, but they like to show it.
Well, they like to have it. You know, just because it's nice to have it. I mean, what's wrong with having a new car? It's nice, you know.
Of course not.
But they don't go around because, you know, for example,
I think
here the culture is so rich.
Yeah,
maybe, yes. But the culture is so rich here that it's normal to be rich. I mean, I'm not that I'm rich or something like that, but it's normal to be rich or to have a lot of money. For example, in some Like in Puerto Rico, for example, there's a lot of rich people too, because it's not a poor country. But at the same time,
classist, so
there's a lot of classes there.
They don't mix around with the people. They get a little apart.
Yeah, but for example, that's also very important over here. The class difference, you don't see it right away.
No.
First, you have to talk to the person. Oh,
exactly.
Wait a minute, this person is from this and that. You can figure it out
The
more or
way
less.
they talk, you can.
I mean, that's also kind of prejudice, and you know, I mean, it goes around, you know. But yeah, it's in there, for example, in Puerto Rico, yeah, you can see when somebody's dressed and when somebody's not dressed. Well, more or less what kind of class they represent. And over there, well, it's nice if you have a Mercedes. Hey, man, have a Mercedes, you know that.
In our societies, we used to have this expression that says, "Let me see how you dress, and I will tell you who you are."
Yeah.
And you dress well, they treat you well. Huh? Yeah.
But over here, it's so funny enough, because I know some people that are millionaires, and when you see them walking around, they're just wearing their jeans and normal stuff. No, they don't. They keep the money in the bank. Mm-hmm. I mean, for example, in some other cultures, they walk around with the money on their bodies.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here, well, they keep it in the bank. It gets interest. And then it gets interest. And it doesn't get ripped off so easy.
Yeah, right.
But I think every society has
it's
hope.
Different, and that's what makes it nice.
Yeah.
But do you think we may arrive to a point that the whole world is going to be looking like America?
Like America?
Yeah. They are influencing all the style in terms of clothes. They are influencing the economy. They are influencing in the architecture. I mean, now you don't go out and see very typical Dutch architecture. You see small Empire State buildings in somewhere. And so they are influencing everything.
Well, what I believe is, for example,
so we're losing our identity in a way.
Yeah, but then that's there's always like that with everything, because what happens is media has a lot of control. But then what I think happens, like for example with music, in the case of music,
media doesn't have a lot of control. Okay, that's true, but I would improve that and say Americans have a lot of control in the media.
So that's what I wanted to, also. Okay. But for example, what I wanted to get to is like the media has a lot of control. America has a lot of control in the media.
The make of the fools, we call them.
Yeah, but then what happens is, like with everything in the music, sometimes a new style of music comes around, and that takes over the whole thing. But then people get tired of it. So then after a while, it's like, oh, that's enough. Okay, we want to hear something pure again. So they go back to their own things, because that's what happens with many cultures. First, you get influenced by the other culture, and it's hip, and it's nice, and it's progressive, and then you go for it. And then after a while, you get tired. You say, I want to go back to my own thing, And then what happens? Then you go back to your own thing, but you still have the new influence, so then you add something new. So everything keeps growing in that way. I think. Right. I think it's what I think about. Is not gonna help very much, because it's a reality that exists. How the world is,
Yeah, sure, but we influence our reality.
Yeah, influences our reality very much. Yeah, sure.
2,000 years ago, they were called Romans, and now they are called Americans, and. So, however, the influence
makes, everything.
In long term, made a big influence, of course.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm sure the Romans, I mean, they were the beginning of really civilization on a city, very high level, organizations and that kind of stuff. But I'm sure they were influenced by many other cultures,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like American culture is a big pot, man. It's a big pot of Europeans and Indians and Africans and and Chinese. Everything has influenced American culture.
Well, now these days, apparently, Europe is influencing them, because if you see these last years, the television serials and the film, most of them are filmed in Europe and shown in Europe.
Yeah, but I mean Latin America, I guess the whole American continent we are, what do you call it, European
outcome.
Yeah, descendants of Europeans. I mean, we speak European languages, we have European religions, we have European organization and alphabet and everything, so it's not very difficult to
to say.
Yeah.
Well, so where are you playing these days?
Well, these days we are doing a tour. Like I say, I forgot exactly where. I think I have it on my book. But it's I think maybe we play in the Tropic Museum or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But you can always see the Cuba City Big Band is going to be playing with Armando Peraza, and you can see that on the newspapers or Parol or Oye Listen, the magazine, that has a lot of information about Latin and Brazilian music.
Well, and pity that when this program comes into the air, the Inti Gimanis have been already playing in the Carré. I wonder if we are going to see it. I will try. And well, apparently this is the end of the program. As you see today, first time we're on Monday in the air, and from now on we are going to be every Monday at this time here. So don't look for me on Wednesday because I'm going to be here on Mondays. Thank you very much for being with us, and I see you next week.